Didn't make a true connection, but something did happen. When I'm leaving the happy hour, I happened to see Mumen, and that's when I found out that she had a flat tire. And I was like, let me just...
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're talking to you guys about Ready to Love. We're dealing with Corey and Mumen. And we're talking about the fact that, you see, for one man's trash is another man's treasure. But there's something that happened within the day in between Corey and Mumen we want to really discuss. It was a tree situation. We want to discuss how this scene came out looking so bad for a lot of us. Even when Mumen actually saved him by being okay with how he got behind her on the tree. And so I want to discuss their date a little bit and just discuss a little bit about him as well before we get to that part of the scene. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like it, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notification of the what uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. I better not do that. Let's not do that. Listen, I'm not there yet. We need a bit more development. Do you know what I mean? It needs a bit more definition, innit? Anyway, listen, let's get into the video. Listen, stay hydrated because the streets out there are hot. Let's get into this video. I wanted to start it from the start. Let's just drop this here.
Help you. And from that point forward, her energy changed towards me.
Corey.
Beautiful. So we've got this first early scene where we saw him the night before changing Mumen's tires because her tire went down. Now, in her time of need, the brother saved her. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen some of these pranks that are on TikTok and on YouTube and Instagram where a man will save the life of a woman, right? And what that puts that man into is hero mode. All right. When you come in and you sweep in and you save a person in a desperate time and need of their period of time, you become a hero to that person, right? It's a bit like Jesus Christ dying for the sins of mankind. His death pays the way for our sins to be paid for, and now we make him our hero. And some of us are not even hero, it's our savior, it's our Lord and personal savior, our God, right? And the principle is the same. When you most needed me, I was there. And so just when Mumen really needed somebody, Corey was there and he managed to do the job of changing her tire, okay? And for a man to be able to do that, that's big points because it shows that first of all, he's good with his hands, practical, and he's able to come at the right time when she needs him. She may be more receptive to him than she was before because what she had as an image in her head was he's an idiot. Or maybe he's not the right type of guy. He's not smooth. He's corny. He's this, he's that. And then when he comes in and saves the day, that kind of overrides all that corniness because you're saying, well, he may be all those things, but at least I know for sure that he will have my back and he will support me. And definitely in my times of trouble, he's going to be there for me. That is what that particular first scene kind of gives an energy of, which is why I could understand why Mumen was more open towards Corey. Right now, being more open shouldn't make you stupid, and be more open should not make you foolish, and be more open should not make you more naive. I want you to understand that just because somebody did something nice for you doesn't mean we forget what you were doing before. Okay, but it does buy you some more points, brownie points. Okay, let's watch this.
And I'm a type of guy, if you take one step towards me, I'll take three. And I asked for a date.
Right on time, because I was over here taking a selfie.
Oh, yes, I saw you.
Beautiful. So I want to just point out something here that in that scene there, this is an appropriate level of physicality that doesn't necessarily require a consensual confirmation. What I mean by that is here we're going on a date. There's nothing wrong with you hugging the person as long as the hands are above the waist and they're not on the bum. I think this is something that, as a generation who are born into a Western society culture, a hug is something that most people will be very much comfortable with, right? Some will not, but you know, most people will be more comfortable, and it's not intrusive. It's not going to set off any alarm bells. Okay, so it's a normal physicality here. Okay.
You get the shots that you needed.
Well, this would be the shot that I need right here. So,
Okay,
this
let's
would
do
be
it.
the beginning of a great date.
Now, something about Mumen that I've noticed, you know, I clocked it from the very first episode in the mixer when she was laughing at Naeem, not necessarily laughing at him, laughing with him, is when he was telling a joke. I was like, the joke wasn't that funny, but Mumen was laughing like the joke was hilarious. And I was like, is she really laughing because it's hilarious, or is she just going? Is she doing a good job of trying to seem more interested than she actually is. You know what I mean? Like she's trying to be open, so she's just trying to be nice, right? I'm not beefing that again. And so even in the scene when they're going to get selfie, she's definitely a go with the flow person, right?
Corey is actually a sweet guy when he wants to be.
Okay, and I'm going to explain what she's saying about sweet guy. I'm going to come into that. But she's obviously a very go with the flow person. He said he wanted to get a selfie. She got involved, took a selfie. She was ready to go down with it. She didn't complain. She didn't try to say, maybe not, maybe later on. She said, all right, I'm going to go with it, right? Now, what you just heard her say about Corey's a very sweet person. I want to talk about this. This is one of the arts of seductions, okay? Which is that when someone has an image of you, if you can show a different side, a completely different side to you, within that, people become intrigued by you. Let me give you an example. The bad boy who's sensitive. Yeah? The person who's tight, that's willing to spend all their money on you. Right? Whenever you start seeing these opposite behaviors that the person can produce and it's an extreme, the person becomes intrigued because they've already made their mind up from you as to what you are. For instance, if you're an extremely rude person, but you choose one person that you're not being rude to, people suddenly become like, wait, why did they get the special treatment? They start becoming intrigued by you because they are used to a pattern of behavior from you. It's actually one of the art of seductions. Not everyone can do it, but it's actually one of the art seductions. And sometimes women don't realize they're falling into that trap, which is why sometimes women will date these bad guys. It's like, but I see a different side to him. He's got such a sensitive and sweet side to him. Yeah, it's called the art seduction, baby. It's called the art seduction. And the truth of the matter is, look, you want to have different components of that person. You want to have different sides of that person. You want to have different facets of that person. What you don't want is extreme cases of complete extremes, right? Because that often promotes, that often denotes, that person's got an extreme, those two polar opposites that, listen, they are not consistent. They're not consistent. Right? And more than likely, there is something hidden behind the action, right? There's something hidden behind that extreme as to why they're on two different extreme lines, right? For Corey, I think it's the fact that I think for Corey, in the sense of the reason why there's I wouldn't even say that why there's an extreme, but I think for Corey, he's not necessarily a bad guy, but he's just not as suave as he's making himself to be. He is that kid that glowed up, but the mind, I don't feel like has gone with it. So there's still that insecurity with him, right? As soon as he got rejected by Sabrina, which was fairly, I think it was the right thing for Sabrina to do. He's feeling like, I want to go home now. You want to go home? After one rejection, you want to go home? After you didn't play it well? Where is the accountability? Where's the looking back and saying, actually, what did I do wrong? You wanted to take every single woman on a date, first date, and not trying to understand and say, oh, okay, sorry, do you know what? I was seeing it from a different point of view. I don't see it like that, ladies. And actually trying to understand where they're coming from, being empathetic. You don't want more points, but instead you put up a wall and blocked it because I think you've suffered rejection in the past, right? And so you're giving off player vibes, but you ain't a player. That is also part of the art of seduction as well. Like I said, that's extremes. Showing that you're a player or putting out the energy that you're a player, but then never having that player, being that player actually one-to-one with somebody. It's what fools people, right? Okay, cool.
He changed my tire in the middle of DC streets. He kind of got some points.
We'll go for a little walk.
Okay.
And then we'll just hang out for a little bit and talk.
So as you heard her say, listen, he changed my tire in the middle of DC streets. He got some points, right? He got some points. Why? Because he changed the tire and she was in need. And, she never expected him to do so. She didn't expect him to have that kind of character to do so. That's why it's working on her. Anyway, let's fast forward it.
It's acts of service. Yes. Yes. I'm a very serviceable person between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m.
Well, at least you communicate.
And I think this is where you get into trouble with Corey. He's a funny guy. He is funny. Let's keep it 100 a buck. He's got a bit of charm about him. His humor is is a weapon of charm, right? And so what can happen is if you let your guard down too soon without really fully assessing who he is, he takes advantage. When I say take advantage, I don't mean of you that he is going to play you. There's a reason why he hasn't gone on many second dates, okay? Because after the first one, something's happened. Like I said, I think he's a commitment phobe. I personally think he's a commitment phobe. I think he's scared of someone rejecting him fully, so maybe he doesn't go on a second date so he doesn't get rejected. I think he's scared of getting close to some of these women that he's dated in the past, all right? but he's a very charming guy. You can tell, right? It's obviously got some lines about him, right? He's obviously knows what to kind of say. I want to fast forward it now to where they are talking, and it's got a bit tasty, right? Let me just, sorry, I don't want to go too far. We're already too far. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
Have you ever seen? Oh, okay.
Now, so who's riding the horse right now?
Now, there was a joke that he made about riding a horse. Okay, because obviously they got onto the log, and the log was like a horse, and he made a joke about, we're making about doing play acting or whatever, right? And the play acting. Listen, I'm all for confidence, and I'll probably do a separate video for this where I talk about Corey and Courtney and the difference between the two, right? This movement that he's doing is quite a big jump. Okay, touching hand first of all, and touching thigh. Remember, Courtney had already asked him as well. Is it all right if I touch your thigh? Right now, he's just got behind. Oh my days, he's just got behind her. Right now, watch her expression. Look where her eyes are at. She wasn't expecting all of that. That's a lot.
Like he's riding the horse going somewhere, because I would like to take you on a horse ride.
Oh.
I just want to see what this would feel like too.
Well, you can feel what it's like if you care.
Now, Bebe, obviously, I don't think she wanted to make a big scene, right? She might have liked it, but she was a little bit awkward with it. She might have done. There's another side, which is she might have been taken aback, surprised, and it might have been a bit too much for her, but she didn't want to complain, right? Maybe she didn't feel totally violated, but she felt like, whoa, but I don't want to make a massive scene of it, right? Because her eyes are telling us everything. This is not, as I'm saying to you, like with her and Courtney, Courtney's was seemingly like a natural progression because they've already been touching beforehand, right? And what she then did later on was already kind of foreshadowed by the fact that they already touched on the thigh and touched his hand earlier on, okay? I'm not saying she's not aggressive. I'm not saying she's not assertive. I'm not saying that she isn't trying to press up on my boy Cornelius. What I'm saying is there's a massive difference between touching someone's thigh already, when you've already asked to touch their thigh, and then doing this where you haven't asked, you just got behind the person, and the person also is not necessarily being all the way, I don't feel all the way open about how they feel.
Oh.
I hope you're down for real though.
I thought we was about to act it out.
Oh,
I love acting. Okay, so where?
Now, at this point, I have to say, Mumen, what's going on, darling? Yeah. At this point, I can't. She's obviously asking, where you going? Get back on. So at this point, I'm gonna have to take it that she is okay with this behavior. I can't take it any other way. I don't want to read too much into it. At this point, I have to say that she's okay with the behavior, right? And thus, he was just being a bit too forward. And so, I would say, listen, Mumen, I don't know if this is you know what? It's a bit of a flirt. You know what I'm saying? I said it already, but I felt like it was a bit Troy-esque a little bit Troy-esque, but in this instance, the person is okay with it. Whereas with Troy, there was clearly women that were not okay with it. People were dodging, people were running, people were trying to get away from him, people were touching people's bras. It was a bit mad. Yeah. Corey's going down that lane slightly by jumping behind her. But obviously then after that, she says she's cool with it. So at that point, I can't jump too much. I have to say, for me, it wasn't it's not the move I would make. And I think a lot of people felt like it was not the right move to make. But at the end of the day, we're not Mumen. Right? So that's something I've got to put out there.
Where are we going?
all right. So,
Hold on.
why doesn't it look right for some?
I don't know. And you started doing the horse before it even started. I was like, what is he doing back?
Well, you know what he's doing around there, baby? You know what he's doing around there, Mumen. So you ain't gonna pretend as if you don't know what the brother's doing. He's trying to get behind you, trying to get his piece up on your back. Listen, we've moved mad in our youth, so we already know, because you know what I'm saying, making very bold movements in our youth. But we grown now. Okay, sis, you listen, I'm not saying you can't do this. I'm not saying you can't do it. I think it just looked mad. It looked awkward, and then it looked a little bit creepy from me to see that, right? But if you're, like I said again, she was comfortable with it, so I can't really say to her. That means it's my feeling and my feeling alone. But since you know exactly what he was doing when he's adjusting his position, he's trying to make you feel something. And sis, I'll be honest with you, this might not be the best way to start off a relationship if you're looking for someone that you want to trust and love. Just because he's not who you thought he was by changing your tire, don't get sucked in just yet. You still gotta receive information. Okay?
There. Okay. Different type of party. Okay.
I was trying to get the little gallop part.
Okay,
like that,
got you.
Like I'm galloping. Like, matter of fact, it's like the end of Jenga.
Baby girl, it's moving a bit mad right now. You get me? We're moving a little bit mad right now. Okay. All right. I want to jump to this last scene, okay, between Mumen and Corey as well. Okay.
It'd be your last first kiss. I kissed you.
Hold on. I want to get to the last bit. Sorry.
He likes making me laugh.
Okay. Look. So I want to play this clip because this part kind of, I was like, this guy is a playboy. First and foremost, we're in a forest. I don't know if anyone clocked it. We're in a forest alone and I barely know you. Okay? We're in a forest alone and I barely know you. All right, cool. Let's get to this part.
All right. All right. Thank you. Okay.
So if I kissed you right now, would you go back and tell everybody I kissed you?
Yes, I would.
Pause. Now, if I kissed you, would you go back and tell everybody that I kissed you? Why would you need to ask that question? He is testing to see what can he get away with that she would keep quiet about. Listen, man, let me tell you something. I'm telling you from a man's perspective, who has intentionally chosen a woman that would not talk too much when he was going to cheat. Trust me, that is very intentional. Trust me. He's about to F-boy it up. Yeah? That is very intentional. He asked that question to see if you're the one that's going to be opening your mouth, then I can't do anything. Because if I do something now, if you open your mouth, you're going to shake my rest of my business. So I'm going to have to be careful how I move with you. Because she said yes, look at his response. Listen to what he says.
I'm going to wait.
You gonna wait?
I'm going to wait. Because I know that you're going to go out with some other dudes. So I'll give them an opportunity to strike out. So whenever you're ready.
The guy said, oh, no, I'm going to wait. I'm gonna wait because I need to, because I'm gonna give the dude another chance. No, he's lying. What he really was gonna do was, if you were gonna say no, he would have kissed you there and then, and he knew you would have never said nothing, and he can go about his other business. You'd have been his little secret. Trust me. I know this F-boy stuff. Look at my name. I'm telling you, man. Don't play with these guys.
It'd be your last first kiss. Let's go.
Listen, like I said, he's got a bit of charm about him. For the right woman, he's got a bit of charm about him. He's got a bit of suave about him. He's got a bit of confidence about him. So I'm not surprised that someone did fall into the trap. I'm going to need women to wake up, though. Okay, sis? When the brother says, obviously, I'm going to tell people, are you going to tell people? He's trying to see where you stand. He wants to corner you, put you in a certain position so that you don't talk too much. You understand? So you don't talk too much, then he can go about his business and do whatever he's doing. Ladies, learn from this. Don't get trapped in this stuff, man. I appreciate you guys. Stay locked to know this. Let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. We'll have a conversation. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked. Stay locked.